welcome back to my channel. Okay, sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Those of you who are new, my name is Bray, and for those of you who are returning, hey y'all, what's up? So I ain't gonna lie, I tried to dip off on y'all. I really tried. I deactivated my YouTube for like a month or so, and I was gonna do like a little farewell video, like this is my last video guys, see you later, but I just was like fuck it, and I just like exited stage left. But while I was on my little break, I realized that I do enjoy doing YouTube, and so I'm back with another video. It feels so good to be talking on here. I mean, I ain't really saying nothing yet, but it feels so good to just be back in my creative video era, or whatever you want to call it. I really did miss being on YouTube, but you know, I kind of felt like I had to take a break, and so I really felt like I just needed to pull back my energy. I really just needed to be in my own space, and that is really the reason why I just decided to dip off. I deactivated like all my social media. I was just like, I'm done with the world. But you know, I'm back and I'm better. I'm back and I'm better. I wouldn't say I'm better, but I'm back for sure. And you know, we just gonna take it one day at a time, just like how we have to do everything in life. So today's video is about being in your own energy, pulling back when you feel the need to pull back, and just everything related to that. So let's get into it. So the original reason why I decided to, you know, take a little break from YouTube is because I felt like I was searching for happiness outside of myself. I felt like I was constantly looking for something outside of myself, trying to grasp on to happiness, to joy, anything that's gonna bring me a positive feeling. And I just realized, like, I mean, we already know, like I talk about this all the time, but I just finally realized that you cannot find happiness out of yourself. I finally know what it means and feels like to not search for happiness outside of yourself, y'all. And it feels so good. It feels so good just to really focus inward. And once you focus inward, that's when everything starts to come out. If you can't establish happiness on the inside of you, nothing outside of you is gonna bring you that happiness. I just needed time to step back in my own energy. I needed to break a couple addictions that I had. I was tired of numbing myself from my problems. I was just tired of being distracted. So I just needed to really pull back and focus on, you know, what was going on the inside of me, get my mind together. And I do really feel like it's important that everybody, every now and then, takes time to focus on themselves, on their needs, what they feel like they need, instead of constantly searching outside of yourself for that. Because again, you ain't gonna find shit outside. And if you do find something outside of yourself, you have to realize that it's short term. It's not gonna be permanent, because everything in this world changes. There is nothing outside of us that is stable. Everything is unstable. Everything is going to change at some point. Everything is going to break at some point, and that's okay. But that is the exact reason why you cannot search for happiness outside of yourself. Okay, I felt like I was getting a little pressured. Y'all know, like, the world has been kind of crazy right now. Okay, social media has been crazy. Everybody has been doing the same content. I don't know, shit is going on with the election. It's kind of wild. And it's just, sometimes it's a lot to take in, okay? It's a lot to take in. Being on social media and being in the world all the time, you know, that does kind of distract you away from yourself. That distracts you away from what you feel you need. When you focus on yourself for a little bit, you're able to finally realize what it is that you're missing. But when you're constantly focused on the outside of you, constantly on social media, you, first of all, you become prone to comparing yourself to other people. And that is the main thing about happiness. Like, if you compare yourself to other people, you will never be happy, because you will always find something wrong with you and always find something right with other people. So it's like, for me personally, I feel like I was trying to turn myself into a personal brand because that's what I was seeing in social media. I'm just like, oh, you know, this is what everyone else is doing. I need to do that shit too. And ultimately, I just kind of ran myself down. I was just trying to follow what I thought would make me happy because it looked like it was making other people happy. But the thing about social media is we only see moments. We only see moments. You know what I'm saying? People don't always post their down moments. And social media is edited. It is doctored up. You know, it's not real. And so sometimes, again, focusing outward, you're picking up things from other people that's not even real, and you're trying to turn yourself into that. And they're not even that in real life. I just felt like everything was getting robotic, and I'm just like, you know, I need to take a step back and really do what I feel is best for me. And I think that's very important for everybody to do that, to fall off the face of the earth for like a month or two, however long you feel that you need. But it is very important to constantly check in with yourself, to check in with how you're feeling, because it all starts from the inside. You cannot manifest the outer world that you want if your inside is feeling like shit, because it starts from the inside. It starts from the inside out. So to fix your outer world, you need to fix your inner world. So when you pull your energy back and you focus on yourself and you focus on your needs, it really gives you a chance to just discover who you are, to find out what you're passionate about, to find out what your likes are, to raise your standards, to just, it's almost like a reset sometimes, you know, like to move, to get out of that autopilot zone. Sometimes we move in autopilot because we're just so used to doing it and life becomes so heavy. But when you really just take the moment to check in with yourself, it gets you out of that autopilotness. Focusing on your own energy helps you move away from the validation seeking. It helps you move away from like finding your happiness in other people, waiting for other people to bring you the happiness that you're seeking. But instead, you're filling your own cup. Because ultimately, that's the one thing that I feel like people don't understand. You can't expect other people to fill your cup if you haven't filled your own cup. And the example I use with this all the time is how women expect men to like do all this financial shit for them. Like, oh, he gotta buy me a purse. Oh, he has to take me out on expensive dates and all this shit. And again, it's nothing wrong with requiring those things or wanting those things. But the problem comes in is when, were you doing that before you got with a man? Like, were you giving yourself those things before you required them from someone else? And a lot of people do. Like, so if you fill your own cup first, other people will begin to fill your cup with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody comes into your life and they see you already doing something for yourself, that is setting the standard. You already set the standard. But if someone comes into your life and you're not doing those things for yourself already, why should they have to do those things? You're not even doing those things for yourself. And so pulling your energy back really just, it's like almost like romanticizing your life. You romanticize yourself, you romanticize your life. Everything that you want from the outside, everything that you want from everyone else, you give to yourself, and it feels so fucking good. Also because, like, you know how sometimes when you don't get something you want from someone, it makes you feel bad. But if you've already given yourself what you want, nothing that anyone else ain't doing, it's not gonna make you feel bad, because it's like, shit, at the end of the day, I got me. If nobody got me, I got me. So I just feel like really turning inward, it's so many positives. Also, since turning inward, I've noticed that my intuition has been speaking louder to me. Okay, I'm able to hear my intuition again. I'm able to trust myself again. And it's very important to have self-trust, because how can you really move in the world if you don't have self-trust? I feel like not having self-trust looks like validation seeking or constantly looking for approval from other people. There's nothing wrong with getting validation or getting approval from other people, but at the end of the day, if you don't validate and approve of what you're doing first, nothing anybody else says is really going to matter, because then you're going to keep seeking for that validation. And it's like, if you're waiting for that validation, you won't feel like you can make the moves you want to make until someone tells you it's okay. And I promise you that shit does not feel good, because it's your life. You need to step out into your life and do what feels right for you. And trust me, I get it. Self-trust is hard, okay? I've lost a lot of self-trust throughout like my years because I was not listening to my intuition, because I was constantly believing what other people were telling me instead of what my body and intuition was telling me. You know, our body gives us signals, and it's up to us to listen to them or don't. And usually all the times that I've ignored my intuition and I've ignored that feeling in my body, I ended up in a bad situation. Okay, so just taking a moment to step back and view your own world, it just really helps you just be in your own body and just trust yourself, and you know, believing that you got it, believing that you have the answers for you. Okay, because we all, at the end of the day, we all really know what's right for us. We all really do know the answers, but a lot of time it's fear standing in the way, or a lot of time we're just so used to other people like egging us on and giving us validation that, you know, it's just so much easier to just be like, well, if they don't approve of it, then I don't either. But again, this is your life. You got to do what's best for you, period. So I really think of turning inward as just like a way to recharge. It's a way to just pull back from the world and get back into your own personal energy. Being on social media, there's so many social media platforms. There's so much information and news and just shit going around. And sometimes putting all that shit into your mind can disrupt your own personal energy. And it's basically like you're soaking up and picking up the energy of other people and you're carrying it. And that shit can be very heavy sometimes. So, you know, every now and then you really gotta just evaluate your life and just notice like what you're doing. Notice what path you're on. Because a lot of the times when we're on destructive paths, or we feel like we're going down a path that we don't want, you just gotta check in with yourself and really just lock in and be like, hey, what am I doing right now? Is this what I want to do? So yes, I don't know, this little month off has done so many wonders for me. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm all healed and I'm all like perfect and shit, because that's far from the truth. But I have noticed that just being in your own space, letting your own thoughts in your mind come naturally instead of other people constantly putting shit in your head, it feels so good. Like, I really can't believe that I almost quit YouTube, but at the same time I can, because like I said, I was feeling so pressured to be like other people, and that's because I was too busy focusing on other people instead of me, instead of my own story. At the end of the day, I can only do what's best for me, okay? And no matter how bad shit worked for other people, that does not mean that it's gonna work for me. And even my videos, I say that all the time. I love sharing my healing journey, but just because it worked for me does not mean it's gonna work for you. You have to find what works for you. It's okay to use other people's advice and what they go through, or even like social media. It's okay to see like what other people are up to, but at the end of the day, you have to put that spin on it and make it unique to you, because you don't want to soak up someone else's energy, because it's not sustainable. You know, you can't soak up other people's energy and expect that your life is going to be sustainable. Everything starts from the inside of you. So you have to take the time to turn back to the inside of you and water and nourish yourself. So yes, I feel like that's all I had to say today. Like, I don't know, I'm just feeling really good. I'm feeling really positive. I'm feeling happy to be back. And so, you know, I'm just here to remind y'all to be in your own energy every now and then, to focus on yourself, and to really discover what brings you passion, what actually makes you happy, without constantly turning outside of yourself. Because man, I've been trying to find like peace and happiness for a long time, but always outside of myself. And like I said, that shit is never sustainable, because life changes too much. You know what I'm saying? One day the wind is blowing fucking left, and the next day the wind is blowing fucking right. And it's just like, it's unsustainable to grasp onto that because it's gonna keep changing. But holding on to yourself on the inside, you know, that is not gonna change. Turning your energy to yourself and focusing on yourself is gonna help weather those winds out there, okay? I'm trying to tell you. But thank you guys so much for tuning into my video, and I really hope that you guys have a good rest of your day because I know that I will. Bye.